What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Celtics Daily Channel with me, Mike Zakarian. As you can tell, we are now in a new undisclosed location across the Northeast as we continue traveling for the holidays. But excited to be back here with you this morning. Hope everybody had a great holiday, a Merry Christmas if you celebrate, or just a good federal holiday to relax. And worst case scenario, you at least get some good hoops yesterday. Because I thought like three out of the 5 games were excellent. Could have taken some time off for that Mavericks Warriors game. Even the Lakers Rockets game, you could chill out a little bit. But the first 2 games of the day were awesome. And then the nightcap, if you stayed up late, well, as you can see from the bags under my eyes, we stayed up for overtime for the Denver Nuggets against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And that was a lot of fun. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Although we should complain a little bit that the Celtics, maybe at the beginning of the season, Adam Silver was like, oh, Celtics can't play on Christmas this year. Tell you what, Boston Celtics better than the Cleveland Cavaliers right now. They could have been playing the Knicks to open up Christmas Day. Put some respect on the C's name, boys and girls. All right, before we get started, do me a favor. If this is your first time tuning in, one, just know normally the camera and lighting situation is a lot better. But two, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it. Get involved in the comments, like the video, hype the video, do all those sweet, sweet things to keep the lights on. Literally, to keep the lights on. All right. This is what I wanted to do first. And this isn't, I feel like I'm starting with some Scrooge, some bah humbug. But I don't think I am. We're getting closer and closer to Tatum's return now, allegedly. If we're going to assume it's early March, right? We are about to enter the new year. We get into January. We also have an all-star break in there. So we're really like not that many games away from potentially Tatum's return. And I was listening to, I tell you, one of my favorite Celtics podcasts, which if you are into supporting creators, which you are because you're here, the Potable the Potable Bros, Mr. Hanson Be Wonderful, Jay King and Brian Robin Company, they do a really good job. They give you it's for very cheap, and they give you a podcast every single day. Like this, but better. Although let's not sell ourselves short. We're doing a good job here. But anyways, they did a mailbag right before Christmas, and Jay King ended it with talking about Tatum's return. And his question was, how would Tatum's return maybe impact the current Celtics roster? And initially when I hear those things, that reminds me of, yeah, like, are we just doing an ESPN segment right now? Right? Are we just trying to let's get some clicks going? And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, that, there is some truth to that, where like I think for a lot of the ancillary pieces, right? Like Jordan Walsh finding his rhythm this season, Josh Minot getting a role, what we've been seeing from Ugo Gonzalez, really those three in particular. I bet they can't, not that they can't believe they're getting minutes, but this is their first taste of it anyways. And I think they're just I shouldn't speak for them, obviously, but they're probably just happy to be playing impactful basketball, right? And Missoula has created this level of culture, this community that understands, like, you have to be ready for whatever your role is. I thought gosh, Bobby Kravitsky maybe wrote a piece on Luca Garza this week or this past week about how, like, he started playing early this season, was finally getting an opportunity to have like meaningful rotational minutes in the NBA. Those minutes then go away, and he's just getting coaches DNPs, and then all of a sudden comes back and is playing a big role because Walsh goes out and Minot goes out, right? So this idea of like, yeah, sure, of course it's frustrating. Everybody wants to be playing, but you're staying ready. This team has like a real chemistry to it. So I think those guys, it probably doesn't change it too much. I think maybe the fringe guys of like Shireman, maybe even Hauser gets squeezed a little bit more. Obviously, the minutes come down a little bit for Walsh and Minot, and they get squeezed if Tatum comes back, because you got to assume he's only going to be playing 20 to 24 minutes this season. I would be stunned. Although we're seeing it from that Ravens defensive player, right, who tore his Achilles and then was back in like 10 months. I'd be stunned if he's playing like full minutes. I would. But I've been wrong every step of the way so far with this. But anyways, to continue this idea of Tatum coming back, I do wonder, like, and this is what Jay brought up, like Peyton Pritchard and Derek White, they're going to be fine. They're, whether Derek White's Peyton Pritchard is starting or not, he's playing 32 minutes a game. Like, he's an important part of this team. Clearly, he's a rung above Anthony Simons, right? So, if anything, maybe it squeezes Simons a little bit more. Derek White's minutes are fine, right? but then, you do wonder, and this is what he brought up. I thought this was a great point, and I don't think there's anything real to it. Like, I don't think this would really be a problem, and I just want to pull up some basketball reference stuff while we talk about this. But I do wonder, like, if Jaylen Brown really feels to be comfortable. He feels comfortable in his skin. And I don't think that's just this season. That's been a while. That's a while now, right? Just in the way that he's been communicating with the media, the way that he's been communicating just with fans, whether it's streaming or going on other people's shows, like when he went on Derek White's podcast. Um, but he's hooping on the floor. He's hooping mentally off the floor. Seems to be in a really good place. And you do wonder if part of that is like, wow, he has finally been given an opportunity to lead his own team. And when everybody, myself included, was looking at the Eastern Conference this year, the Celtics weren't a part of the conversation, right? I mean, granted, like perfect example, they didn't play yesterday on Christmas. One of the most storied franchises in NBA history, a team that has gone to two finals in the last X amount of years, winning one of them, has been to the Eastern Conference Finals almost every year for the last 45 years, right? And for them to not even play on Christmas, like, yes, part of that has to do with them losing some guys and Tatum getting hurt, but that's just because we didn't think they were going to be good this year. I know some of you did. You guys were still picking 50 games, right? And then Jaylen Brown comes in. He's like, "Hey, man, not only are we good and legit, like this is really happening right now. This is really happening right now." And through the 27 games, right, the Celtics, I believe, 18 and 11 through 27 games. He is averaging 29.4 points per game. He is averaging 6.4 rebounds a game, 5 assists per game, 49% shooting from the field, 36 now from three, 78% from the line. He's doing a little bit of everything. And I wonder, if there's a part of him that Tatum comes back and he's like, "Ah, man, I kind of got this, And I don't, I really, I would say it's like 85% of them is like, hell yeah, my brother's back, my running mate. The Jays have reunited. Let's go win the Eastern Conference, right? I'm sure that's most of his brain. But like all of us, there's a part in the back where like, ah, man, I wonder, could I have just done this? Could I have taken him by myself? Like maybe, and maybe this is a nod for the future. Like when contracts run out, maybe JB's like, let me go do this somewhere else. I just wonder if that thought's in the back of his head. I thought that was an interesting question posed by Jay. So shout out Jay King, which I know that's what he was looking for this YouTuber to shout him out. But I thought that was an interesting question. Initially, when it came out of his mouth, I was like, "Come on, man! It's the last thing of the segment. Let's have some happiness. Merry Christmas. Have some eggnog." And then I was thinking about it a little bit more, and I think there's some psyche to that rings true. But I honestly think I think as long as when Tatum comes back, I think if it is 20 to 25 minutes a game and everybody's roles, they maybe downshift a little bit for the most part. I think JB is still going to be the number one this season. I think if anything, Tatum coming back, it just shores up some rebounding, man. Like every game, it's the hardest thing the Celtics have to do is rebound the ball. And you're like, man, I hope Peyton Pritchard gets 6 tonight. I hope Derek White can get 9, right? Like that's what we're looking for. Excuse me. And to get somebody like Tatum back, who is a double-digit rebounder a game, can just provide a little bit of offense too, even if he's dinged up, and just defend at hopefully still a high level. It's now no longer asking rookie Ugo Gonzalez to be Superman. It's asking Josh Minot to not play out of his head, or Jordan Walsh to not play like 35 minutes guarding Tyrese Maxey and then James Harden. You know what I'm saying? So it gives us another pitch to throw. And I'm pretty excited about the prospect of that. Again, I still can't believe I'm here talking about my excitement of Jason Tatum returning, because I thought you guys were all nuts saying he was coming back. But once again, me, Mike Zakarian, host of the Celtics Daily, proven to be a dum-dum. All right, let's go to our next 10 games. You know I love to do this, but I'm starting to get excited, especially with the Cavs losing to the Knicks yesterday, which it looked like the Cavs have finally started to turn around, and then you see that they've beaten like the Pelicans and the Hornets, and then they get off to a hot start against the Knicks, which was exciting, and then fall apart a little bit. So ready, here we go. We are 18 and 11 right now. 18 and 11 through also I said 27 games, basketball reference. So JB's probably averaging more than 29.4, because 18 and 11 is not 27. That's bad math, baby. That's 29 games. All right, so let's go. Let's do this next 10. We know they play the Indiana Pacers tonight. So this is the beginning of a road trip, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our next 5 games are on the road. So we have at Indiana, all right, Friday night tonight, 7 o'clock at Indiana. Then they get on a plane to LAX. No, it's actually to PDX. They're going to Portland. Right? Is PDX Portland? Yeah, it is. They're going to Portland for Sunday night, 6 o'clock. Maybe Time Lord playing Revenge of the Time Lord. Drew Holiday probably still out though. I think he's getting a little bit closer. It's really just can you slow down Denny Avdia and Shaden Sharp? If you can slow down those two guys, Celtics should win this game. Then they go on the road at Utah on Tuesday. Thankfully, not a back to back. Because sometimes when teams are on a back to back and then they go into the Salt Lake City, they go into the mountains and the Mormons, things get a little tricky. But Utah has, speaking of downshifting, has downshifted into the tank. Utah's no longer, they're just like, hey, Lowry, your groin seems a little tight today. You want to sit for the next 4 games? So Lowry's, whatever. Utah's trying to lose. Although I will say Keontae George, pretty nice. I'm enjoying Keontae's game. Rookie Ace Bailey has been up and down, but has been pretty solid. Whatever. Then their fourth game of this run is the Sacramento Kings. The Sacramento Kings still without Sabonis, I believe. Sabonis is going to miss even more time. Levine missed a bunch of time before Christmas. Not sure if he's going to be back. Everybody's on the trading block on this team. Playing a little bit better as of late, but not really scared of the Kings. That's 4 games so far. I haven't found a loss, all right? Then we go to the Clippers. Now, the Clippers have won a couple of games here. An impressive win against the Rockets. I think they beat the Lakers before that. They still only have 8 wins on the season. I'm not really terrified of them. It's just Harden and Kawhi. They're also without Ivica Zubac now for the next handful of weeks. So that means the Clippers are going to have to put on John Collins and Brook Lopez to try to defend the Boston Celtics. So the Celtics should be able to do whatever they want. And if they put Kawhi on Jaylen Brown, maybe that does slow JB down, although JB has won every single matchup so far this season. But maybe they slow JB down. All that means Pritchard and White should get the shots that they want. Maybe Chris Dunn plays a little bit more. He slows down White. I'm calling a Peyton Pritchard game on January 3rd against the Los Angeles Clippers. So that's our next 5. All on the road. Celtics, I'm going to go out on a limb, will be favored at least in 4 of these, but I think all 5 games. Then they come home. They get the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls, which will be a fun offensive game, not a lot of defense there. That's their 6th game. They'll be favored in that one. Then they're home against Denver. And as we saw, Jokic last night put up, I think, 56, 16, and 16 or something like that in that overtime win. Jokic is the best player on the planet. We won't be favored in that one, I don't think, although Denver's pretty thinned out too. They're without Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, and Christian Brown. Then you have the Toronto Raptors after that, who we seem to have their number right now. That's our 7th game. So I would say we're and that's at home. So that favored. We're favored in 6 out of the 7. Then home against the Spurs, who the Spurs, holy crap. We thought the Oklahoma City Thunder might win 150 games this year. OKC's beaten them 3 times in the last 10 days. It's just insane stuff here. So I don't know. I maybe not favored in that one, but that's 7-2. And then the Indiana Pacers one more time on the road. Is it crazy to say they go 8-2 in the next 10? 8-2 in the next 10? Maybe we say 7-3 just to give us some wiggle room. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. 7-3 in the next 10 sounds pretty fun. It sounds pretty fun. I can't believe I've talked myself into this team as much as I have, but here I am. I know I left this on the agenda here last show too, but I'm still just kind of curious where people are landing. Would love some more comments. We're about to get into your comments now, but I want to keep this coming of especially after having this Tatum conversation. What do you think the Celtics are doing here at this trade deadline, or do we not know yet, or do we need to get to the All-Star break? Because I think the trade deadline's after. Oh no, I actually think the trade deadline's right around the Super Bowl, right? So we only have a month left of trade stuff, or maybe a little bit more than a month. Do we need to wait a little bit longer here? Because I know I pushed some Daniel Gafford stuff on you guys yesterday, but it seems like if you want to get a center, based on what I was seeing from the chat, you want to get a real center, like a starting center. So somebody like Daniel Gafford, who is only going to play 18 to 22 minutes or whatever, is not going to be enough. You want someone that's going to be a star. I just think this Celtics team is probably not throwing any sort of crazy trades out there. I think it's going to be just movement around the edges this season anyways. I just think salary-wise, it's going to be really hard, especially because the Celtics, there's no reason for them to take on a crazy amount of money right now. So I don't know. I don't really know, but I'm curious what you guys are thinking. Is it just my lean here is that they probably move off of one of Simons or Hauser, even if it's just for picks, because I wonder if they are thinking hey, we can probably still do what we're doing if we lose one of those 2 guys. And I don't know, maybe people just mean, Sam Hauser can turn it around. Shooters are streaky, but this is a pretty long sample size of him being kind of mid. Sorry for saying mid, like I'm a Gen Zer or Gen Alpha. I don't even know what gen we're on right now. That's even more boomer of me to do that. But anyways, curious of what your takes are. Let's get into some of those right now. And as always, appreciate everybody tuning in. This has been fun building this thing. So appreciate you guys, and just continue to support if you like it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hype it up. Gotta hype it up. All right. So Keith Cooney from our last video said Ugo's nickname should be Boss. Ugo Boss. I like that. I still land on Ugo, like humongous game from Ugo. I kind of like that. All right, Dave was yelling at me. He said Ugo has a far higher ceiling than Josh Hart. That's fair. I'm just I'm tempering expectations. But you're right. Why do it? Just shoot the moon. Dave also said we don't need a 5. This is what I was talking about. We don't need a 5 unless they are a stud. Gafford's a mid, so we don't need to go get a mid. Okay, all right, that's fine. Neil says PP and Gangi have been in my game time vocabulary quite a bit lately. My NBA player nicknames are basically just pet names for cats. I like that too. I mean, you could probably create a good TikTok series off of that right there. Just like NBA players as cats. I think that's a $1 billion idea. So there we go. Free ideas. You don't just give me, tag me in the video. All right. Cat Kuka. Oh man. My guy Katuk. There we go. Katuk Kukata. I'm doing a bad job. I apologize. Why don't we trade Simons for Kuminga? Why wouldn't we throw in a first as well? All right. The first thing I'm going to tell you right now. Are you a Warriors fan? I got to give a pick for Kuminga too. Kuminga can't even get on the floor for this Warriors team. We're not adding other stuff. We're not doing them a favor. If they want to do Kuminga for Simons straight up, sure. I'm not throwing in anything else extra. I'm not helping Steve Kerr out. He wouldn't even play Tatum in the Olympics. No, thank you. And then our guy Patrick Barron, as he always does, put number 19 in the chat. Let's go get it. Appreciate everybody for tuning in today. Enjoy the rest of the holiday weekend. Safe travels if you're traveling. We'll probably have one more video this weekend, and then hopefully we're back Monday or Tuesday. I should be back in New York for the New Year's, in case anybody was worried about my travel plans. All right, hit the subscribe. Let's go get another win tonight, huh? Sees? Let's go.